Pugilism fans, boxing enthusiasts. Oh, we got a big time fight coming up Saturday night from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. As Baltimore's own, Baltimore's finest, the undefeated Gervonta Tank Davis at 30-0 takes on DC's finest, Lamont the Reaper Roach Jr. 25-1-1. They'll be on PBC pay-per-view live from Barclays Center a little bit around midnight, heading into Sunday morning, as we have a big time matchup, Baltimore versus DC. Go ahead, give a right hook to that subscribe button, left jab, that like button, and make sure you comment down below. We want to hear from you down in the comment section. Who wins the fight? Any undercard matches you're looking forward to? We cover it all here on the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports coverage and whatever sport that may be, how you want it, when you need it. And make sure you hit that bell. We'll let you know when each and every one of our videos drops and when new content is to your sub boxes daily. Again, hit the like button, cost you nothing, and a comment. Good, bad, who you have winning. Are you going to the fight? And let me know how you're feeling with Tank. Who do you want to see him fight potentially after this? We want to hear from you in the comment section down below. But let's get into the matchup, the preview, and all of the fun stuff. The reigning, defending WBA World Light Heavyweight Champion, Gervonta Tank Davis, a.k.a. the Roman Reigns of boxing, because he only shows up once a year. He doesn't get paid by the hour. He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Acknowledge me.
If you know, you know. He is the OTC. He is the tribal chief right now in the boxing world. He doesn't have to show up when he doesn't want to, and he's earned that right. So reigning WBA Light World Heavyweight Champion Tank will defend his title against Lamont Roach Saturday night, Barclays Center in New York. Davis, coming into this matchup, is 30-0, 28 wins by knockout, a force to be reckoned with. His journey to the Light Heavyweight Championship, the WBA Light Heavyweight Title, was marked by a decisive win against Yuriorkis Gamboa in 2019 in a recent 8th round knockout victory over Frank Martin in 2024. Mr. Roach, Lamont the Reaper Roach Jr., enters the ring with 25 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. Roach's last fight was in June, retaining his WBA Super Featherweight title after defeating Feargal McCrory by TKO. Now, I do think this matchup, if you want my prediction, you want my preview, I think Tank wins. I think Tank gets to 31-0. Now, when I first heard about this fight, I thought it was maybe more of a underwhelming decision of opponent for Tank, because we were wondering who
Go
Google it.
who was left for him to fight. And Lamont Roach steps to the scene, a champion in his own right, a 25-1-1 record. And these two gentlemen go back to the early days. As I mentioned, Baltimore and DC, not far apart, two different worlds, but not far apart. Davis hasn't fought in nearly 9 months, and now he is also one of the most popular fighters. Now we will see him face Mr. Roach, and Roach is nicknamed the Reaper. So you don't get a name like that without being vicious in the ring. This isn't your average title match. This is a rich and storied history between the two, as they both have grew up together. The last time they shared a ring, Tank did win. They've been training and competing against each other since they were teenagers and have grew up in the sport. Roach was quoted as saying, "We grew up together in the sport. There's always tension and rivalry." He told Premier Boxing Championship, and I quote, "The last time we got in the ring, we were 15 or 16. He won gold medal. He got the silver medal, 1-2. That was the last time we were in the ring together." Roach added his development into a different fighter since that loss. He plans to shock the world by defeating the undefeated Tank Davis. He says, "I'm a world champion for a reason. I don't give a F what y'all got to say," Roach said. He said, "That's why I'm here in this position. I'm going to be on top of the boxing world." And Davis was quoted as saying he has a right to be confident, but he believes Tank believes he's going to remain victorious. Tank, the hard-hitting southpaw, the lefty, he's one of the top knockout specialists in his generation, and he said he will put Roach to sleep. Only 2 of his 30 career fights have gone the distance, while his last fight, this is Tank we're talking about, wins have come over established fighters Frank Martin, Ryan Garcia, Hector Garcia, Rolando Romero, and Isaac Cruz. Roach is no slouch. His lone defeat came against a more experienced Jamal Herring in 2019 when he was just 22. 3. He's won 5 straight, including a victory over Hector Garcia, who fought well, and a 2023 loss against Tank Davis. Tank's trainer, Barry Hunter, said he believes Roach is sharp and technically proficient boxing style will make him a tough opponent. Roach has never been a cheap date for anybody, Hunter said. The real true boxing fans know this isn't an easy fight. He's very skilled, and I'm going to go out there, and he is one of the most skillful people Tank has faced so far. And let's get into the tail of the tape between the two gentlemen here. I got always up the tail of the tape fighting. And here we go. Let's make it a little bit bigger for the wonderful people out there. And there you go. You see right there, and I'll even make it a little bit larger just in case. There you go. You see both United States citizens, Tank from Baltimore, the Reaper Roach from DC. Now, if you are from Baltimore or you are from DC, you ain't scared of no damn roaches. We slap roaches. We do the necessary evils with roaches to get rid of them because they're just annoying. And Roach is that type of fighter. He will not go down easy. He will fight to the very end. He's hard to knock out. He's very skillful in his own right. Doesn't have the punching power of Tank, or I think the defensive prowess of Tank, but he can hang. And I think there's a reason why he's in this fight, and there's a reason why he's only got 1 loss and a draw. Roach, 29. Roach has the height advantage, 5'7" to Tank's 5'5". Also the reach advantage with 68, but Tank with 67.5. Davis, 30-0. Roach, 25-1-1. Only 10 knockouts. Like I said, you see the disparity in power between Roach and Tank. Out of his 30 fights, 28 have been knockouts. Now, will Roach get knocked out this time? I think this fight will end with a TKO. So I guess that will be a knockout technically because it won't go the distance. So I'm guessing Roach will technically get knocked out, but it will be a technical knockout, meaning the ref will stop it. So I think Tank in the first 2 or 3 rounds will do like Floyd Mayweather has done, like many other great defensive fighters in the past. He will fill out Mr. Roach. Roach, I'm sure, is going to come out aggressive, looking to potentially catch Tank slipping. And I think inevitably that plays into Tank's game. I think Roach will not be patient long enough. Tank plays the long game. Tank allows his opponent to wear themselves out. He's a defensive mastermind. He will then scout you and use what you do well against you. He's a really good counterpuncher. As we mentioned, the pure knockout power that he possesses and his ability to end a fight in a blink of an eye. Now, like I said, Roach has the height and reach advantage. He's going to need to use that because Tank has the speed, quickness, agility, punch power, punch speed ability, in my opinion also. And I think that is why we're going to get a TKO. I think Roach shown he has beaten a guy that is hung with Tank. So I do think this is probably Tank's toughest fight, if we want to be honest, probably since maybe the Garcia fight. I know he did beat Garcia, but Garcia is better than Roach, in my opinion. And I think what we saw from Garcia, he had more punch power, obviously, but Roach has the reach. And I think on the Roach end, if he wants to win, he's going to have to be patient. He's not going to be able to win this fight in the first 3 or 4 rounds. He's going to have to, I don't think he's going to be able to knock Tank out because he's not going to be able to connect with him consistently, but I think he has to wear Tank down, which is easier said than done. He's going to have to counter the counters. So he knows Tank is going to counter what he likes to do. So he has to be ready to counter what Tank throws at him. So he has to be ready for any and everything. He has to be able to adjust on the fly. He has to protect his face and protect and limit the body damage that is caused from Tank because Tank is going to wear you out. He's going to tap your arm a few times. He's going to tap that lung. He's going to tap that chest. He's going to tap that chin. He's going to tap that head. He's going to work his way all around your body like a just surgeon on in the operating room, like he's playing a game of operation. He will, like a class of anatomy and physiology. He will pick you apart, and that's what he does so well. Much like his mentor Floyd Mayweather Jr. I think we make it to the 8th or 9th round. I think we get a TKO. I think it is stopped because the Reaper is going to try to knock out Tank. I think it's just inevitable. I think the history, seeing that Tank is beaten him before, they've grown up and come up together. He wants Tank's spot. He is going to try to prove to the world that he belongs in the same ring as Tank and he's better than Tank. And he is a different fighter. He's mature. Like I said, he has the height and reach. He has no soup can. When I first heard about this fight, I was not as excited, but the more I look into it and looking into Roach and his history and their history together, that familiarity, I think, is going to make it a must-see fight and make it more interesting and more entertaining. No fighter Tank has ever gone against has been this close, far as location, Baltimore, D.C., far as growing up in the sport together, gold medal to silver medal, competing in the ring. So, as a fighter, at your core, you are who you are. Tank, a lefty with heavy punch power, quick hands, can avoid being, take those damaging blows throughout 12 rounds. And he has great stamina and endurance with his cardio and his workout plan. I think Roach, he has the ability with his height and reach to land those punches where he doesn't have to get as close to Tank, but he has to be patient. He has to play the long game. He has to outmaneuver the maneuverer. He has to, like I said, take his time, work his way through this fight, and be able to outlast him in the long 12 round bout. I don't think, like I said, I don't think Tank is going to make that crucial mistake. I think if anybody makes it, it's going to be Roach trying to overcompensate maybe for his lack of punch power, thus allowing himself to then, after the fourth or fifth round, Tank to then unload his punch power on Roach. But let me know. I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section. I hope I broke down the fight. I hope I made sense of everything with this fight. What are you looking forward to seeing? We got some big time matchups, big time fights on this card. Real quick, with the undercard, we got a lot of fights. Let me see. Let me go to those real quick. What we got? We got that. We got this. Let's see. Real quick, we have on the undercard, we got a lightweight bout. What do we got? We got. Let's see here, so people can see. We got Yuriorkis Davis versus Oscar Eduardo Gonzalez Jr. lightweight belt. Super middleweight Nashide Smith versus Tyree Green. Super bantamweight Serta Landon versus Sharon Carter. Welterweight David Whitmer versus Angel Munoz. Super welterweight Duke Fleming Jr. versus Florent Darrens. Super welterweight Christian Ganslowski versus Gerard Tennant. Super featherweight Gio Lopez versus Germrade Muchawa. Middleweight Jared Hood versus Ohan Gonzalez. Super welterweight Jonas Tellez versus Julian Williams. WBC super lightweight title fight Albert Puello versus Sander Martin. And then we got the super lightweight major undercard match Jose Valena versus Gary Antune Russell. So we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matches on the undercard before we get to the main event of Davis versus Roach. So we got 12 matches total. It's like an AEW show. So it's going to be starting at 8 p.m. Like I said, Tank and Mr. Roach probably won't be coming to the ring until darn near after midnight, and fight will start early Sunday morning. But we expect that with these long, drawn-out boxing spectacles, we know they got to have everyone walk to the ring. They got to do their grand entrances, and it only becomes more grand as you get into the main event. And we're going to be here talking about it on Monday, the Flex Zone podcast, 480. We'll be breaking it all down, recapping the fight, and giving you our opinions on what went right, what went wrong. But I'm going with Tank to get a 8th or 9th round technical knockout. So he will improve to 31-0. But he's facing no slouch, no fighter more familiar. And honestly, like I said, with Roach, he's never faced one like Tank. It's one thing to say, oh, I faced him years ago, I've grew up and went against him. It's a reason why he was number one and you were number of this generation. He is pound for pound one of the best in the world, and he's in tremendous conditioning, and we're going to see it on Saturday night. And he just has that advantage being a lefty, and I think we ultimately are going to eventually get Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson, and that's WBC champion Shakur Stevenson. So I think he will grind Roach down over the long haul, and by the 8th or 9th round, worst case by the 10th round, I think a technical knockout. And hey, who knows? He could just straight knock him out if he catches him with an Iron Mike left hook, a nice left jab. We'll see what happens. But sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on Tank Davis and Lamont the Reaper Roach. 25-1-1 against 30-0. Who wins? Barclays Center. We'll be here to talk about it on the Flex Zone podcast. Sound off down below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you in the next one. More content down below. Leave a comment. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. And of course, let me know what you're feeling. I'm going with Tank. I think Baltimore beats DC in this one, but we'll see what happens. Sound off. We'll see you in the next video right here on the Flex Zone Podcast.